Good morning. I am Dr. Wilhelmina, and I'm here to talk to you about something I am so passionate about. I always say I bring you subjects and I have fun doing it. Well, this right here is the most fun for me because I'm very passionate about it. So I had to look it up and find out what the official title is for it. So, officially, I am a chromophile. What in the world is a chromophile? It's not anything dirty. It's a positive thing. Well, at least in my life, it is. So I am attracted to color, no matter what the color, the whole gamut of color. So it could be skincare, it could be makeup, it could be clothing, it's people, the ranges, all the ranges of color. And I'm very interested. I find myself interested in people that have unique features and it's related to specific color of people, right? People that are whatever their race. There's that, and there's color in skincare, there's color in makeup. Like I love the colors, all the colors. They may not work well on my skin, or I may not like what I see, but the whole range of everything. So color is my thing. So what we're going to talk about today is even more interesting. One of the things I like to do is mix patterns, but the color is important when mixing patterns in your clothing or whatever in the house. When I decorate the house, right now my living room is red and yellow. All of the accoutrements, the different furniture, different um, accents are red or yellow, which is kind of crazy, right? But I love red and yellow. Those are two of my favorite colors. So, anyway, let's get on with it. Let's talk about wearing varied patterns. So, this brings me joy, and my coworkers will tell, my friends will tell you too, that they'll see me pop up in two different patterns, pants, shirt, or a dress with something else going on. Or I remember one of my favorites, I had a purse that was black. It was a little tiny little purse you take like when you're going out, and it had orange feathers on it. So I used to like to carry that with all black dress and make that match right. But I also used to wear whatever color, and my accent would be my yellow purse, my yellow jewelry, my yellow shoes with whatever color I was wearing, the solid color. So let's go with this. Okay, so wearing varied patterns of clothing together, often referred to as pattern mixing or pattern clashing. I love it. I'm gonna tell you, I love it. I love it. It involves several key concepts and guidelines to create a cohesive and stylish look. Here are some essential concepts. So I'm telling you the concepts that help you do it. You can't just, well, you can wear whatever the heck you want, but sometimes I see people do the mixing of the patterns and they're just not right. It's not a good blend. They're throwing each pattern is throwing the other pattern off. It just doesn't look right. So I wanted to talk about this pattern thing because I love color, but this is pattern and color. So color coordination is important. You want to ensure that, wait, hold on. Before I go any further, there are 10 tips. So this number one, the color coordination. So ensure the colors and the patterns complement each other. A common color palette can help tie the two different patterns together. And I have a friend who is a clothing designer, and I think that is what got me back into it because I love to do it anyway. But I had bought two pieces of her clothing. Now, when I saw the design advertised, it was one way. But I decided to do it another way and bought a different shirt than what goes with the pants. And it got me started, and I'm back on it, and I love it. I love mixing the patterns up. Anyway, they were both black and white, but the patterns were totally different. So let's go on to that so you'll learn more about it. Scale and proportion. Mix patterns of different scales. For example, pair a large floral print with a small polka dot or stripe. This prevents the patterns from competing with each other. So that one outfit I got, the shirt was a bodysuit, and on it it had kind of faces on it, but there were lines, thick lines and faces. The pants were thinner lines, but also black and white, but they were like checked, but big checks. So they didn't compete with each other. Uh, Pattern types. Let's talk about that. Different patterns can be mixed together, such as stripes, florals, plaids, polka dots, and animal print. Now, animal print, I love me some animal print. Anybody can tell you that. I have friends that when they buy me birthday gifts or whatever, they come most of the time in cheetah print. So I love it. They know I love it because they see what I wear. And I love to take a red or a fuchsia or both together because I've done that and wear my cheetah print shoes with a cheetah print bracelet, this big cuff bracelet on my wrist. I love to do that too. Cheetah, I love cheetah. But mixing it with reds is really good. Or I think even with like a royal blue, but the bright royal blue, it would be really cute with cheetah print. You can see I'm so excited about this. I love this. This makes me happy. This is bringing me happiness. You got to do the things that make you happy to keep you going on days, especially when there's difficult days. But okay, next. Neutral base. Use neutral colors as a base to balance the busyness of the mixed patterns. Neutral pieces can ground the outfit and provide a backdrop for the patterns to stand out. So for me, I don't necessarily follow that rule, but that is a basic rule of mixing patterns. But for me, neutral colors to me are like black, gray, brown, those colors. But like I just told you, I'll do red, royal blue, fuchsia too, and mix it up. Okay, so the next one, pattern placement. This is going to be a short podcast, by the way. Consider where the patterns are placed on your body. For instance, a bold pattern on the top and a more subtle pattern on the bottom can create balance. Um, that's a rule. It's a good rule. But for me, my base for me is the colors, making sure that the colors are a good blend with each other. They are either the same colors but in different patterns, or it might be another color, but it blends well with the other. So that's a good concept, I think. But anyway, let's go to the next, accessorizing. Use accessories like scarves, bags, and shoes to introduce additional patterns to harmonize the patterns in your clothing. Now, yeah, I'm good. Like I said, cheetah print, yellow jewelry, just pops of color that help to blend them and make them more interesting. But also, when it comes to color like silver, gold, and rose gold, I don't do much rose gold, but with silver and gold, it really depends on the color I'm wearing. Like gold goes with almost everything I wear. But sometimes silver gives it a better look. Like the royal blue is really good with the silver. So it depends on what color you're wearing. Texture mixing. Combining different textures along the patterns can add depth to your outfit. For example, pairing a chunky knit with a sleek, silky patterned shirt, that's a good one. Uh, but be careful with that. Pairing different materials might throw it off also depending on what you're doing. But I really like the silk, the sleek silk pattern with a chunky knit. That's cool. Like if it was A-line skirt with a nice sleek silky top with the buttons and then the top is got patterns in it, that would be really good. Okay. Confidence and personal style. Yep, all of this before I even go to what it says here on my notes. Confidence is big. You can't wear this if you're not going to be confident about it. You got to step out in those patterns and walk it out like you are a fashion model. You are the best thing since sliced bread. Because if you're uneasy about it, it's going to show. So, about confidence and personal style, wear patterns that you feel confident in and that align with your personal style. Confidence can make any outfit look intentional and stylish. I tell you what, when I go to work and I got these different patterns on, I better be confident. I better know that I'm looking good. Otherwise, I'm going to be uneasy, uncomfortable, and people that are closer to you might say something about what you're wearing. Usually I get the, "Oh, that's so cute. I would never have thought to put that together. That's really nice." But anyway, I'm just saying. So, trial and error. Experiment with different combinations to see what works best. Sometimes unexpected pairings can create the most interesting look, and that's true. This week on Monday, I wore a top that was mostly red, but it had white circles like little bubbles all over it, and they were smaller bubbles. And I had on a pair of seersucker pants with like the train conductor stripes. You know how they have the blue and white, the pale, very pale blue on top of white stripes? I wore that together, the bubbles and the pant, and it was just really cute together. It's the week of the 4th of July, so I had on red, white, and blue basically, but the seersucker was a pattern, chunky kind of pattern, right? With the stripes, and the shirt had the bubbles on it, and it was red and white. It was pretty cool. Anyway, fashion rules and breaking them. Understand traditional fashion rules, such as matching patterns and colors, and don't be afraid to break them creatively for a unique look. Like I had on Monday, that was unique. I would never think to put those stripes with round bubbles on top. That's, but they were all also something I noticed is that was no big chunky pattern with a tiny small pattern. They were both kind of small patterns, but you could see them. They were very visible. Okay, so by keeping with these concepts I just told you, you'll be successful in mixing and matching your patterns in your wardrobe, and they create a stylish and dynamic outfit. So remember what we talked about: pattern placement, accessorizing to bring it together better. Maybe your accessories will bring out a specific color in both pieces or one. Trial and error, practice it at home. Be confident. You got to be confident. And scale and proportion like we talked about, and just make sure the colors are coordinated, like they blend. You don't want something too far off. But I hope this podcast helped you in mix and matching and having more creativity in your wardrobe and being confident about it. You step out there, girl or boy. So have a beautiful day. And if this helped you with your wardrobe, please share it with someone else. And if you feel like you're that same person like me that loves color of everything, everything matters. I'm drawn to furniture, drawn to paintings, drawn to clothing, drawn to curtains, drawn to people based on just being really interested in color. They have unique color hair, or their skin is unique, golden tones, or even really, really pale skin, and just features that go with that, right? So you might also be a chromophile, just like me. That's spelled Chromophile. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a beautiful day. Share the podcast and come back again. Ooh.